What up, guys? Thank you for joining me again this week. Once again, it's Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief, and I'm here to bring you yet again another manga review segment right here on Otaku Assemble! Weekly. As always, I'm here to bring you the latest reviews in this week's One Piece and Naruto manga chapters. But before I get started on my review, I want to take this opportunity to thank the cast and crew of A Podcast of Ice and Fire for having me as a guest on their podcast this past Monday. Thank you guys so much once again. It was a blast, and yes, I would love to be on the podcast again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave the link to their website in the description box below. And guys, I'll update you, all my viewers and subscribers. I'll update you all when that episode of the podcast is placed on their site. But once again, I want to thank the cast and crew for having me. It was an unreal experience. One more thing to note before I actually get into the manga review. To address what's been going on with the OAW weekly manga and anime reviews. Now, you all may remember last week I pretty much got into a full all-out rant. I just fucking lost it at the end of last week's manga review. And I didn't even do a Naruto Shippuden anime review last week. Well, pretty much what I've decided to do is, because I've been on the fence for the longest time about whether or not I should continue doing the weekly anime and manga reviews. Should I stop? Should I replace them? This, that, and the other. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So pretty much what I decided to do is, from now on, the weekly One Piece and Naruto manga reviews and the Naruto Shippuden anime episode reviews, those are going to be discretionary reviews from now on. Pretty much, I do so at my discretion. If I read a One Piece and a Naruto chapter that week that I feel the need that should be reviewed, I'll review it. If not, then I won't. Classic example. Last week I didn't review the Naruto Shippuden anime episode. I'm not reviewing the anime episode this week. Yeah, I'm just not going to force myself to do reviews for manga chapters and anime episodes that I really don't want to review. So that's what that's about. Besides, like I said, I'm not quitting them. No, I'm not quitting them. I'm just, if it deserves to be talked about that week, then I'll review it. If it doesn't, then I won't. But that'll also give me an opportunity to knock out some of my other reviews, which I know I'm going on almost 3 minutes, but guys, bear with me. I want to make sure you guys have this. One more thing, one last announcement. I have the new OAW review list. This is the new one, newly compiled last night. The manga of the month, the anime of the month, anime favorites list, and my rants list. I got it. I got it. So now I can actually start cranking out these reviews. So with that said, on to this week's One Piece review. One Piece manga review, which, like I said, this week, I can actually talk about this week's chapter. I can actually talk about it. So, okay, so this is chapter 625, entitled Inherited Will. Number one thing to notice, the title chapter. This is a good title chapter. Chapter title, excuse me. This is a good chapter title. I just wanted to throw that out there. Just wanted to make note of that. Good chapter title. So pretty much the gist of what happens in this week's episode is that a Tenryuubito, which is pretty much the fishman's term for humans, a slave owner and a slave trader, pretty much. His ship crash lands on Fishman Island. Everyone on his ship is dead. The ship is wrecked to hell, and he's on the verge of dying himself. And he asks the people of Shipman Island to help them. When they refuse, he gets upset. Matter of fact, some former sun pirates who were his slaves, one of them was even going to kill him. But Queen Otohime, she jumps in. She saved the guy's life, gets him some medical attention. And at the end of the chapter, after about I forget how long they said he was on Fishman Island, but pretty much when the human decides to return to the surface, Queen Otohime goes with him. And After they're gone for about a period of a week, she returns with an important document, which I believe is the pardon for a fisherman to, to be on the surface. But pretty much, I mean, that was the gist of what happened this week. Now, a few things that are worth noting of this chapter. Number one, we learned something about Princess Shirohoshi that I don't think we knew before. The fact that she has the ability to control Sea Kings. The scene in which the human grabbed Queen Otohime, placed a gun to her head, whatever he was planning on doing to her, whether he was going to kill her or to use her as a hostage, the princess, she was able to summon 3 gigantic Sea Kings, and Vanderdecken, he made a comment to one of his crew members. He was talking about that, there's a legend of a mermaid princess way back when who had the same ability, and that's what intrigued the first Vanderdecken to pretty much it's funny because he portrayed the Vanderdeckens as if they're like these treasure hunters, like there's something out of fucking National Treasure. They run after these myths. But pretty much the first Vanderdecken started looking for it. It's kind of like a Bigfoot Yeti hunt. But apparently that's why Vanderdecken wants the princess. Now this makes sense. I'm sorry, but just wanting her just for the fact that she's so beautiful, I thought that was pretty weak and pretty vain of a plot device, of a plot element. But no, now this actually does have more purpose. This helps because this gives Princess Shirohoshi this gives her a little bit more uniqueness than she already had. I mean, for the most part, she was just a really big, really gorgeous mermaid princess. But I mean, we've seen those type of characters before, but this gives her a little bit more value. This also helps Vanderdecken's. This also helps his villain-esque, personality. Now he seems to be more of a villain. Okay, so okay, let's see what else was worth. Okay, by this time in the flashback, Jinbei is a Shishibukai now, a full-fledged one. And let's see what else is worth noting in this chapter. I think that might be it. Yeah, I think that does it. Unless there's something else I'm talking about something worth mentioning, not just okay, well, shit, that's it then. That's it for this week's One Piece. So, like I said, it was a good chapter. It was better than last week's chapter. Yeah, okay. It was a funner read. Let me put it to you like that. It was a more enjoyable read. So on to Naruto. So Naruto chapter 539 entitled A Bloody Night, which is a misleading title. But so pretty much the gist of what happens in this week's chapter is that after the whole after Naruto's conversation with the Nine Tails, we pretty much head back to the joint shinobi army, where apparently Neji got injured, quote unquote, and so he had to go to the medical tents. And pretty much one by one, Jonin level medical ninja were getting picked off. So the medical ninjas there, they pretty much figure out that, hey, one of us is being controlled. Why? Because no spies could breach our perimeter. So somebody's being controlled, and they try to narrow it down to who it is. And Neji's there, so he's trying to help. Neji has the Byakugan and whatnot, and he's able to find people and whatnot. But turns out that Neji was the one who was being controlled. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened this week. Now, why is that worth addressing? Okay, apparently yesterday when I went on YouTube and when everyone else and their grandmother were cranking out their their manga reviews yesterday, pretty much apparently like there was a big uproar about it. It was like, oh my god, like I didn't even watch those other videos, so I don't even know what the other videos were about so much. So, but I just know that apparently there's some big controversy between Neji and Sakura and what happened in this week's chapter. I don't know what is it about this week's chapter that's so damn bad. Like what's the controversy? Be I don't see what the controversy is. Are people? I mean, I guess people are pissed off that Neji is apparently someone's controlling Neji and using him to kill off other shinobi. But I mean, that makes absolutely sense. That makes complete and utter sense. Why not use Neji? I mean, think about it like this. One, Neji is one of the most powerful people that they have. Compared to all the other Rookie 9 or Rookie 11 or whatever the hell you want to call them from Konoha, Neji's one of the most powerful amongst them. So that's number one. Number two, Neji is supposed to be the guy who is supposed to find, other spies and he's the one who's supposed to find, undercover, double agents and shit like that. So of course no one would expect him. Seriously, no one would expect him. Now maybe it has something to do with the fact that Neji is supposed to be one of the strongest ones, and it's like, how can someone take control of him so easily? But Neji's not stronger than Kabuto or Madara or any of the fucking I don't even think he's stronger than any of the fucking Akatsuki members. I mean, I don't see what the big uproar about that is. Now, yeah, granted, we did want to see, Neji kick ass against, the enemy and all that jazz, but I mean, this isn't a bad alternative. It really isn't. Now I don't know what's the thing about Sakura. I don't know why people are bringing up Sakura. She didn't even do anything in this chapter. And then they got that bullshit with that guy who apparently has a crush on Sakura or whatever. Now, I hope you guys understand the only reason why he's in this chapter was to make you believe that he was the spy. That's the only reason why he's in this chapter. I promise you, 2 chapters from now, he'll be completely irrelevant. That's the truth. We don't even know this guy's name. He'll be completely irrelevant. So, keep your panties in a bunch. Don't go all apeshit over it. I mean, because one can argue that that it's useless. It's a pointless plot device, but no, it's not. The point of introducing that person in this chapter was to mislead the reader. It probably was a failed attempt because I knew it was Neji the whole fucking time. But that was the point. That was the goal. Okay, so the only other thing I can think about that's worth mentioning in this chapter was the fact that we finally saw Nagato and Itachi, and apparently like they're together, and Nagato's limping for some reason. I don't know why, because we didn't see them fight. I'm not saying that they didn't fight; they probably did fight, but I don't know. It's just funny seeing those two characters converse with one another. Yeah, it's just funny seeing them converse with one another. But I wonder. I'm just curious about something. I wonder if Nagato and Itachi will be the first 2 of the impure resurrected shinobi that will actually turn against Kabuto and Madara and the Zetsus and whatnot. Because so far with all the impure resurrection shinobi, like, they have all their memories, they have all their feelings and shit like that. And they have rebelled against Kabuto in some form or fashion, but none of them have gone all out, just straight rebelled against him. So I wonder if those 2 will be the first ones to do that. Granted, the fact that they have, their eye techniques are so powerful. I mean, fuck it. Let's face it. Out of all the Akatsuki members that were resurrected, Itachi and Nagato are the 2 most powerful. So I'm just curious about that. I mean, that would be nice. However, if they do that, that's also going to take away, those are big guns for the opposite team. And, if they just turn, but other than that, I think that was it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna leave this video off. This video's I'm going on 15 minutes about now, and it's pretty much going to be shorter than most of my other reviews. But that's pretty much because I think the problem with my weekly manga and anime reviews is I've been making them too long. Like, not too long for the sake of, I'm not shortening the vid for the sake of, just keeping it short. But I think they've been too long because I've been talking about shit that, quite frankly, doesn't need to be talked about. And like, I've been purposely dragging it out, and I don't think I should. Condense the actual synopsis, because you all read the chapter. You know what the fuck the chapter is about. So my goal from now on with my weekly manga and anime reviews is to condense the synopsis and just discuss what I think should be discussed in the chapter or the episode. That's the goal from now on. So yeah, so like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and leave this video off. Thanks for joining me again this week. Stay tuned for, like I said, I'm not doing a Naruto Shippuden anime episode review this week. I'll probably do a movie review instead this week. Right now it's between I Am Number 4, because I just got that, that a copy of that just slid across my desk this morning, and Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, which opens tomorrow. It'll probably be between those two. I have the special vid of this week is going to be my manga review of the month for Siren, and my Game of Thrones review is going to be Sunday. As always, this is Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief. I'm signing off, and I'll catch you cats next week. Later.